Hey! We're here. So, last time we entered the mansion of Pokemon, which is a weird title. And I guess instead of talking about the wild encounters here, I'll talk about the puzzle in quote. It's not very much of a puzzle. If you saw over there too, that I just passed, there's a door which can be opened up using the little statues we'll find. We saw one earlier, but yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll see more of it, and you'll understand if you don't understand or haven't seen it before, I guess. But I guess I'll go over the new encounters, which the only new encounter I'd say is in here is Ponyta, and the others we've run into countless times, so I guess there's that. But like Coughing and Grimer, they're new, though I think you could catch Grimer using Surf at one point somewhere, or maybe that was in Yellow. No idea. I probably haven't mentioned it or mentioned it if it matters, so there's that. Nice level up. I think that means everyone is 42 or higher. Yep. Wait. Oh, Tauros. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. That looks a little awkward to me. So as you can see, there's doors blocking our path and a bunch of other shit. So we're gonna mess around with the doors around here, see what we can do. Wheezing, that's kind of rare. But going on to the wild encounters, we've seen a bunch of Coughings and Wheezings from Team Rocket, along with Grimer and Muck, rarely in Fuchsia and Cycling Road. That lived. Huh. No poison though, so lucky us. But we've seen a bunch of these poison types already. The only other thing in here is Magmar for blue players. We're gonna switch this. We actually have to go to the front. A secret switch, press it, yep. Who wouldn't? Paranoid people. But a bunch of new encounters that this would be the last portion that you're gonna get that many new encounters that are useful. I mean, we've had the fossil Pokemon, which I still need to do, by the way. I forgot to show that off, but next time we'll do it. But Coughing, we'll go over him. Defensive and physical side, and Wheezing's very strong defensively on that side, physically. It's good for different reasons. I guess we can't go anywhere. Huh. So first floor is useless. We'll go upstairs. But it's useful for taking a lot of normal type attacks in this generation, but it doesn't get access to its ability because it's first generation, they didn't exist then. I hate being just outside that easy slash skill, but so it's kind of a bad poison type here. It doesn't really fit any mold that you would want it to. It doesn't do well as a toxic staller because it just doesn't. This actually shouldn't live. Grimer and Muck are more specially inclined, except that one lived. It also has more health, so I guess that's probably why. But they're in the same boat. They're poison types that get trashed by a lot of the common types in the game, ground being one of them, and then Psychic will trash poison types. And so they're just not they're a little too late, I'd say. By now you've picked up a poison type that is probably better. Like Tentacruel is way better as a poison type, even though it's water. Water primary type is there, I guess. So I don't really need to mention them. They learn the basic. They don't get Sludge Bombs, so there's not a lot of power here. Sludge, I believe, is learned at one point. I don't know. I've never used these in Gen 1. I don't really like these as poison type. Gengar, Venusaur, Victory Bell, Tentacruel, other stuff. They're much better in regards to poison types available. Oh, finally a trainer. Jeez. Yeah, it's one big puddle. But we have two others. Though you can catch Growlithe here as well in Vulpix, and depending on what version. But we've already had access to them, so those aren't special. But Ponyta is brand new, and it's actually not a bad fire type in this generation because of Fire Spin and Toxic, which even then it learns Fire Spin really late. Rapidash also takes a long time to get to evolution, so it's a rough road. It really is. I think Ninetales and Arcanine are better. Moltres will be available at level 50 coming up, so there's that. And for blue players, we're going to transition over into that. Magmar is available here, which is a viable fire type, but I feel that Ninetales is the best fire type for this type of scenario. And if you can't, Moltres does it better. Charizard, if you picked it as a starter, is also available. So if you want to do that, it's up to you, of course. I just don't think Ponyta, Rapidash, and Magmar are really that good. So yeah, there's all that stuff. Magmar's decent though. It's viable. I can see a use for it on different teams, or maybe if you just like it, it's really there. It's really weird seeing this moveset after so long, but so if you saw in the diary, I went over really fast, but the last three letters, M-E-W, mean we are talking about Mew, which is a legendary Pokemon that is technically not available here, which is kind of weird, but when you think about it, I say technically available because you can cheat to get it, which a lot of people will say, oh, it's available in this generation. Well, I don't count it, so you can have your win, I guess. But so Mew is the only Pokemon in the game that is coded but unavailable. There's a couple others that have been like put in for their numbers, index numbers, but were used in Gen 2 or in theory Gen 3, 4, 5, whatever, depending on how far into development they were, how much they held off on playing them. I don't know. That is technically neutral damage, by the way. It says not very effective, but it's neutral because I'm water and ice. So. Oh, actually, I forgot to show something here. So, I really want to show, because ice is actually neutral to fire in this instead of not very effective. I could show against this Ponyta, but so Mew is the DNA of all Pokemon. I remember, see, it's neutral, and that's not a glitch. That's actually the type chart here, but just wanted to show that. Max Potion, nice. Is this really it? I guess so. But Mew has the DNA of all Pokemon, which originally, until Arceus came along, it was known as, I guess, the father, mother, whatever, of all Pokemon, and then Arceus was the god of all Pokemon, so kind of lost a lot of respect for Mew. But it still learns every TM. It learns a lot of moves. We're gonna flip this switch real quick and go do other stuff in this mansion that we can. But in regards to a bunch of other things in here, we learned about Mewtwo, which we will actually see. Which is funny, Mew is not available, but Mewtwo is. I always found it weird as a child. Still find it weird. But that's because of what they did with coding and all that, so. Mewtwo, they describe it as a clone of Mew and a bunch of other stuff. In the anime, I believe they used it, Team Rocket used it as like an evil, like little henchman, so to say, causing destruction. which, I mean, I would too. This Mewtwo is the strongest Pokemon in existence. Red, Blue, and Yellow Mewtwo will trash any other generation Pokemon. That their Garchomp in Gen 4 holds no chance. Arceus holds no chance. It breaks things. Amnesia is broken here and it gets it, so it's really unstoppable. But it's a little slow. The encounter rate is kind of ridiculous here. July 5th. South America? And it's talking about where they discovered Mew, which is kind of interesting because we've noticed, if you've noticed at any point, we've talked about Russia, the Tisky branch. I'm sorry, I can't say it correctly, so not my problem though. We didn't go up here. Yeah, here's the on the other side. Let's go in here first. One of these should be the TM for Blizzard, which I actually do have a plan for. It goes on my Tauros, by the way, if you couldn't figure it out. And it won't be going on it for a little bit, but the reason is for a fast ice type attack, and it's only for one Pokemon really, but I think Blizzard's in here. Along with Solar Beam. Which you think Blizzard would be in Seafoam Islands, but nope. There are a lot of encounters here, which I'm not going to complain because I feel that my Pokemon are slightly under leveled, but we'll be getting to higher levels faster and faster now. Now that we have all our Pokemon in a certain level threshold. Is that the last door we can go into, or do I have to flip the switch? Like the Seafoam Islands, it's been a while since I've gone through here, and unlike the Rock Tunnel, it's not very, excuse me, straightforward. Weird burp, but, we can finally use Alakazam again. Yeah, we're just gonna flip that. So, if I remember, do I have, I think, because there's a certain balcony that you have to go down. We're going to do this first. My mentor once lived here. Now, there's a bit of lore behind this. Not behind this guy, but Blaine, who is the gym leader, which it's not really a spoiler because how are you supposed to know at this point, and Mr. Fuji, in the lore of certain stuff, and there's a picture in the gym, I believe, is said they worked together at one point. And it's kind of a not subtle, a subtle hint that they might have worked on cloning Mew. And there's a bunch of theories going around. It's never confirmed. I believe in Origins they talk about it a little bit. For the little, I hated Origins, but it is there. But a bunch of other stuff is like hinted at. Phew, overwhelming. So let's actually talk to this guy. So you're stuck, try jumping off over there. Now, we're not going to do that right now because I kind of want to go down here. Oh yeah, there's nothing here. But it's supposed to be a hint. Right here we go down. And we end up on the correct side? Nope, we do not. So, you're supposed to end up on a certain balcony, and I fucked up, obviously, but I'll go back around. Not this part, though, which I'm actually going to cut to right before that balcony for next time, so you don't have to see me do this all over again, because I'm also in the wrong room, apparently. But next time, we'll be going to the balcony and doing the rest of this, getting the Cinnabar Gym key and all that crap. So, till then.